Disclaimer: I didn't want to make this video, but recent events have led me to do so. In this video, I'm going to explain how one of the most accepting and wholesome communities I've ever been in quickly became one of the most toxic and abusive environments I've ever seen. The first half of this video is going to be an impartial reading of chat logs, tweets, and Discord messages. This way, you the viewers can take the information for what it is. There will be no speculation, it will just be me laying down the facts. I won't be giving my opinions on any of it until the second half, this way the description of events stays unbiased. On January the 8th, music artist Cavetown announced the creation of his Minecraft survival multiplayer server. The server would only be for people who have purchased the This Is Home package, which costs $7 per month. January the 15th came by and Robbie livestreamed the opening of the Cavecraft Minecraft server. Myself and a few fellow friends recently bought the This Is Home package to play on the server with each other, and we joined at the time of its opening. It's also worth noting that the staff team consisted of one of Robbie's friends and their friends. These people had little to no Minecraft moderation experience, and they were chosen solely because of their relationship to Robbie. Now, I'm more of a technical Minecraft player, so I set off to find a village and make an iron farm. I made a villager breeder, the iron farm, and a free-to-use public blaze farm. The villagers meant I had easy access to diamond tools and armor, which I offered to give away for free to anyone who wanted it. Anytime I was to sell something, I would always give them a choice of what price they would take it. They could take it for free, or they could pay me what it's worth. I offered to build farms for people, and I helped wherever I could. On the 19th, Robbie joined again. He asked for someone to make an iron farm, and he complimented me for already having made one. I then made a public iron farm for him, and everyone else to use. As I was waiting for one of my zombie villagers to convert into a villager, I heard the converting sound, but instead the zombie villager just disappeared. I was standing right next to it, so it could not have despawned. I tried it again, and the zombie disappeared just as it converted into a villager again. I asked one of the online staff about it and asked for my weakness potions back and golden apples since I had lost them due to this glitch. This could keep happening, I needed it to be sorted. The moderator told me that the zombie despawned, and said it wasn't really an issue. I asked in the Discord server and M told me I already had an answer, and she backed up the incorrect answer that I was already given. Someone saw this and DM'd me saying that their friend was punished for speaking against the mods and that I should try and be careful. I'm not showing a screenshot of this to keep the person anonymous, so you can dismiss that fact if you don't believe me. I had lost valuable items and this issue could keep happening, so I needed to contact a different staff member. I mentioned to them that people had been silenced for speaking up against mods, so I wanted to keep it between us. And they forwarded my messages straight to M. A while later, she gave me a strict warning for harassment. Her reasoning was that I kept arguing after I received an answer. She also excused any potential admin abuse by reminding me that she implemented a few suggestions that I made. On January the 26th, I found an iron golem in the wrong place in my farm. The farm wasn't working anymore because a golem had spawned somewhere where it shouldn't be able to spawn. Something was different. M told me they disabled golem spawning, which was incorrect. The golems were still spawning, the difference was just that the golems could also spawn on slabs. She then claimed it was to reduce lag. I told her spawning wasn't actually disabled, they still spawn on new types of blocks. She said it was to reduce lag again, which is incorrect. Spawning was never disabled, and adding new spawning surfaces for golems does not decrease lag. So I asked if it could be changed back, and she said, "As far as I'm aware, you can mine iron." Yeah. Someone was waiting in the public iron farm when I got there, and I didn't want people to be wasting their time, so I placed a sign saying, "Mods removed iron farms, please don't AFK here." M then said she could see that sign. Okay. I then noticed Ellie Hart was in Spectator due to the italicized name in the player list. I asked why M sent Ellie Hart to follow me. She then called me passive-aggressive and immature. She then claimed she didn't send Ellie to follow me. I was kind of sick of how M was treating me, and I decided to quit. Her response was, "Okay, that's a shame." Before quitting the server, I wanted to be sure that Ellie was following me, so I went to the stronghold and Ellie got the I Spy achievement, confirming they were indeed following me. I hadn't interacted with Ellie in weeks, there was no reason to follow me on their own intent. I then had a laugh about exposing them and I placed a sign reading, "I too enjoy admin abuse." A few seconds later they banned me from the Minecraft server. Any player to mention my ban was either muted or banned, with their message being deleted. Knowing how unfair this was, I contacted a different staff member to see if they could do anything about it. They sent my messages straight to M and she banned me from the Discord. Friends that I made in the server were also worried and asked me what happened. I got over 10 people asking me. They were worried and confused. So I made a Discord server and just wrote down exactly what I'm writing here, so I didn't have to type it out 10 separate times. Somehow M found out about this server and made my ban permanent. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. I originally wanted to explain the context of all this while I was telling the story, but I felt like people would say I'm being biased with how I explain it, so I made sure to leave all speculation out of that description of events. Now it's time for the second half of the video, the context. I noticed quite quickly that M held a grudge against me after what happened with the zombie villages. The original staff I messaged about the issue didn't understand what happened, and they gave me a completely incorrect answer, so naturally I went somewhere else, which resulted in M warning me for harassment, which was really uncalled for. Looking back on it now, there was literally nothing I could have changed about how I went about it that would have changed the situation. Messaging a second staff member wasn't a choice, there was a glitch that was wasting valuable items, and it needed a solution. M said it was being handled, but no, they told me there was no issue, nothing was being done about it. It was apparently my fault, due to me not name tagging it. Okay, so we know that M was lying about removing golems. The fact that her answers and reasons were completely incorrect and irrelevant, coupled with her unexpected passive aggression out of nowhere, gives it away. Not to mention that Cave Town, the server owner, asked for an iron farm. Now okay, think about this for a second. Who had a golem farm since practically day one? Who spent hours making multiple golem farms, even one public for everyone to use, and who would removing golem farms affect the most on the server? That would be me. I think it's safe to say that iron farms weren't removed to reduce lag. I think M removed them to spite me. M lashing out and calling me passive-aggressive and immature directly after she displayed those exact notions only further adds to this. Where was I passive-aggressive or immature? Literally nowhere at this point. The only way anything I said or did can come across as passive-aggressive is the admin abuse sign, which I placed after this, which was valid. This was further backed up when I noticed Ellie following me in Spectator. All of this between me and M, and suddenly an unrelated staff member is following me. When M claimed she didn't send Ellie to follow me, she used the reasoning that she was, quote, sitting in her Minecraft house. What? So because she was sitting in her Minecraft house, it means there was no way she could have told Ellie to follow me. She also made another passive-aggressive remark relating to this, saying that Ellie was a mod, so it made sense they were following me. The excuse that this was all just a default setting of a plugin wasn't relevant either. Iron farms worked, and now they didn't. Whatever the original value was makes no difference. It was changed. Okay, let's put all of this aside. Let's take the staff's side now. I'm going to explain it from the staff's point of view and stack up all the evidence against me. To do this, I'm going to have to completely disregard the facts and context of this situation. If we disregard the reasoning behind the zombie villager situation, it could have looked like I kept asking about something even though they gave me an answer. Does that fit with M's warning to me? No, not even close. Next was the first sign I placed. Judging by the things M said, she took it as passive-aggressive and immature. It read, mods removed iron farms, please don't AFK here. Again, let's disregard all the reasoning and facts behind this, and let's see it from M's perspective. Maybe it could have looked like I was annoyed with the removal of iron farms, so in retaliation I put up a public sign to tell them the mods are at fault. Sure, I can see how they could take that worse than it actually was. There was literally someone waiting for iron when I arrived. I was simply telling people to stop AFKing there, since they'd be wasting all of their time. Next is the other sign I placed. If we ignore the history of how M had been treating me and we just saw this from her perspective, yeah, it's rude and maybe even uncalled for. But when you add the context, it makes more than enough sense. This sign was the least I could have said. Second to last, me asking a different staff about this situation. Honestly, there is no reasoning behind this. Looking back, M literally told me to do this, quote, if you think a mod is using an abuse of power, you should definitely let someone know. And that's what I did. And she banned me. Just to note that this was before anyone had asked me about what happened. The mod was the only person I had contacted regarding this situation, so M's message couldn't be referring to anyone else. M was just so fed up with me, and me talking to a different staff member about this was just too much. She wanted me gone. Lastly was my Discord server. M could have seen that as me banding people together against the staff team or something, which yeah, kinda sucks. Sadly, that wasn't the case. People were quite literally friend-adding me out of the blue to ask what happened, and this was the easy way to explain it in bulk, seeing as the staff wouldn't give them an explanation. As you can see, if we ignore the facts entirely and see this from the moderator's point of view, it still doesn't even begin to excuse M's behavior. There is not a single point of view in which you can read the situation in, and still come to the conclusion that I was fairly banned. This was admin abuse, plain and simple. The staff team, and especially M's ignorance of the facts and context, was already worse than anything they had thought I had done. Regardless of if I'm right about M removing iron farms to spite me, regardless of if I'm right about M sending Ellie hard after me, regardless of if I'm right about literally anything here, you can't begin to excuse what happened. This video was just me venting. I didn't get the opportunity to have a polite conversation to the mods about this, so I never got to put this issue to rest mentally. Literally the other day, someone from Cavecraft friend added me asking where the iron farm was. They wanted me to explain what happened. So yeah, by the end of the day, I'm banned, they still run the server. Is this the end of it? Who knows? If M decides to respond and blames it all on me, well, that'll suck, but I doubt even she would be able to turn this all on me after I've laid the facts out like I have today. I just wish the moderators Robbie hired had proper Minecraft moderating experience. None of this would have happened if that was the case.